Hi, good morning, everybody. Hi, thank you very much for joining us on this webinar. I was just in Hawaii recently, and I noticed, many of my friends who are, 50, 60 years old, start getting a lot more weight. And also many of them start realizing, wow, I better start doing something about it, because many of them actually, when I start mentioning all the signs and symptoms, then they start realizing maybe I need to check whether am I pre-diabetic, or how can I prevent this occurrence of getting weight, getting more sugar, or getting pre-diabetic. And when I start talking to many of my friends, I start realizing also many friends already diabetic, and many of them also have an issue is, even though they have now diabetic medication, but the A1C are still way up in 8, 9 area, which is not good, because you got to bring it down to 6.5. Unfortunately, many of them say, well, the doctor said maybe I can limit myself to 7, but 7 is still good, not good enough. You have to go down to 6.5. So you still have a room to go. So one of the things that they also share with me is that they said that one of the difficult thing is the weight gain. And I start understand more. Then I start realizing the American diet, just breakfast alone. One of my friends said, hey, I've been eating cereal for years. So I asked what kind of cereal. And I said, well, I eat Alpine, and, mentioned several brand. So I said, wow, my goodness. I said, do you actually ever look at this brand, the amount of sugar intake? And they said, not really, because I'm eating this for years. And then I said, why don't you go take a look of the intake of your cereal, see whether this is really a lot of sugar or not. And then we have several occasions, because we have a lot of events together. Then they came back and said, wow, Andrew, you're right. I didn't realize I take so much sugar in a day, just in the morning alone. Those are what I call the added sugar. And that is the reason why I thought perhaps with this webinar, I can alert many of you can able to understand what is added sugar is about. And on top of that, what is going to be causing you issue because of all these added sugar. And I tell you, this can be a real problem, because you took the sugar without knowing. Even like, for example, some ice cream, because every time you take some ice cream, you're actually taking 30 to 40 grams of carbs. That's a lot of carbs. Or you take a can of Cokes, is a lot of carbs also. On top of that, it has lots of calories too. So all that added together, I hope through this webinar, I can help everybody to be more sensitive. What is added sugar do to you, and what is all these added sugar will do to you on the calorie side, and what the added sugar do to you on the carb side, and how can you limit this added sugar. And I hope with this, we can get everybody can be more sensitive to this added sugar. So I'm going to start my webinar now. I thank you very much, Faye. Haven't seen you for a while. I appreciate you joining us. I appreciate that. And Eugene, I was just in Hawaii, so I love to see my friends. They're so good. All got together with me. So anyway, I'm going to share my screen. So today, our topic is how to limit your added sugar intake to support your health growth goals. There's a reason why I want to talk about that. The reason is because it's not just only getting your health goal, but really what these things all get together is all related to your diabetic growth, diabetic goals. Because if your sugar are screwed up, your diabetic goal is not going to meet. You're not going to meet your A1C. And your average daily blood sugar is definitely going to be high. and that will be screw up your health. And I don't think you want to do that. So that's why the seminar is actually structured that. Now, certainly today we have people from Hong Kong, we have people from Philippines, we have people from Hawaii, we have people from Los Angeles. Wow, quite a few different people. So we have a lot of different people add together. So we hope that at least this webinar help you to sensitize what is added sugar do to you, and help you to at least you can now start watching every single thing, reading the label and so forth. So that's what we do. But I'm going to take 5 minutes to catch up just to make sure everybody understands why you become a pre-diabetic or diabetic, okay? Now, as you know, diabetes, you don't get well. All you can do is control your disease. Now, since you don't get well, how do you control your disease? So you basically control disease is control your blood sugar not to go up. So meaning that you have to do your, control from the diet, your exercise, your weight management, and then in order for you to know you do not have a blood sugar problem is only through what? Poking your finger. So you have to poke your finger and check your finger, make sure that you are not getting high blood sugar. And if you're pre-diabetic, it's the same issue. So you can only control, you cannot get well. And you got to have, make sure that you got to change your diet, lifestyle, and do all that, not to take white food, meaning, all your rice, your noodle, your white bread. You got to make sure that you got to drink Lowsutea, not drinking soda, instead of drinking very sweet beverage. All that will be so important, help you to control your chronic disease, because this is a whole lifelong disease. And you have to keep your A1C below 6.4. And how do you become a diabetes or pre-diabetic? It goes to 4 stages. And every time when I talk about this, people ask, as everybody goes through, pretty much everybody goes through the same. First, your LDL cholesterol goes up. When your LDL cholesterol goes up, you know what can happen? You're going to damage your insulin that comes out with the B cells. The B cell will take the insulin, take the sugar into the cell. And when the high cholesterol goes up, it damages our B cells. So the insulin no longer works. So more and more insulin comes out, you will have high insulin resistance. And then secondly, when that happens, the sugar also goes up. Now, the second stage will come in line if the sugar and the cholesterol mix together, the blood becomes thick. What that happens is, you know what? All your blood vessels will start clogging and form. And then your blood pressure, second stage, goes up. It just is how it goes. All the plaques are showing up all over the body. And that's why for diabetes, it's so bad, because it forms plaques everywhere, the entire body. And the third stage of the problem is going to show up again. When your sugar kind of goes up and your A1C is going to go up. The A1C is the hemoglobin cells, the sugar percentage sugar attached to these cells. Now, if you're 5.7, you're a normal person. If you're between 5.7 to 6.4, you are actually called pre-diabetic. The amount of sugar, percentage of sugar attached to the hemoglobin. If you're over 6.4, you're 6.5, you're considered a diabetic. So stage 4, if you don't do anything, change lifestyle, your sugar is going to go through. That is go all the way to 6.5, you are diabetic. Now, doctors usually give you some chance to say, okay, we'll give you some chance to lower blood sugar and see how can you do. If you cannot lower blood sugar after 6 months to a year, you're confirmed a diabetic, your insurance go up, everything goes up. So basically, that's what happened. Now, how Lowsutea work is that it's very simple. There are 2 things in Lowsutea. One is the guava leaf actually delay the absorption of the sugar into the gut vessels. And so less sugar going to the gut vessels. Now, bitter melon is very unique. It also take the sugar, actually, first of all, it take the insulin, increase its sensitivity, so it make the insulin work again. It take the sugar into the cells. Now, when you excessive sugar, what they do is they take the sugar, the cholesterol, and the salt, dump that out of urine. So all those are dumped out. That's why after you drink Lowsutea, you somehow have more urine. Actually, that's good because you detox, get rid of sugar, cholesterol, and salt. Net result, salt go down. You know what? Your leg swell is going to go down, and your blood pressure go down. And so that's means 3 high will go down: sugar, cholesterol, and blood pressure. All these things are really good for you if that it will decrease. Now, if you don't do anything, what's going to happen? You're going to have high risk of stroke, and we're going to have some more lecture down the road talk about how diabetes relates to stroke. You might have cataract. Cataract is like glaucoma, the eye getting blurred. We have people that come to see me. They are only 40, 50 years old. Their eyes are getting blurred. And basically it's the clotting of those vessels. Like last time we have Dr. Jane Young was explained to us, they start damaging the eye. So if your sugar go up, it will damage your eye. Your pancreas is not going to work. The worst thing is your heart vessels is going to get clogged. Then you're going to get what? Risk of heart disease, heart attack potentially. And that problem is all the clotting, your nerves start damaged, so you can feel. And on top of that, your blood pressure is going to get bad. So net result, you can start damaging your blood vessels. And net result, that is going to be bad. And the bad vessel bad is going to be basically, because all the clot go on to your vessel, it got damaged, it's not going to be good. And then if not, then you're going to start getting your amputation. If you hurt yourself, the leg is not going to get well. So all that is going to come along. Is not going to be good. And certainly the worst yet, if you have damage of kidney. Now we have a patient earlier, we talked about, she's 67 years old, her kidney damage. Now she only have 40% of kidney. So net result from there, if she is continue to be not taking care of herself, you know what? Her blood sugar is going to get bad continuously, damage her blood pressure, and then it's going to be very, very bad. She needs dialysis. Okay, can you hold on a second? I just got to get one thing done. Sorry about that. Okay, good. So, you got to control potential. All these complications come, you have to control your blood sugar. And if not, all these things can continue to damage. So now, what we do is we have 5 programs that will continue to help you for, control your blood sugar by 1, lower your drink Lowsutea to help you lower your blood sugar. And then we also teach you about dieting, low carb and low fat, so that it will help you definitely lower your blood sugar and through your dieting, and then your carb is low. We'll also show you about exercise, about weight control, and we have webinar, Dr. Webinar, teach you about doctor and nurses webinar, just like me here, teach you about how to manage your diabetes. And that's the key here. A lot of people just talk about diet. Here we'll talk about management of the whole diabetes. So we'll alert you what to look for. And so you also need to track your daily blood sugar. Now, quite a few of my friends here listening to the webinar, they're already managing the blood sugar every day. They use what they call our Abbott Libre a sensor. And it's a little button here that you can able to understand what is your blood sugar right now. So that way you can able to, like if you eat a donut, it goes up. So you're not going to eat too many donuts from now on, right? So I do the same thing, because if I see this bread goes up, after I eat, my blood sugar goes up, I'm not going to eat that bread anymore. I eat different bread, like keto bread. One thing good about things is we travel, we'll start seeing that, why in Hawaii, there's a lot of keto bread. That's a Hawaii keto bread. And their carb is very low, like 2 gram carbs, their bun, the hot dog, everything. So it's really great. So that's why our whole program and teach you how to manage blood sugar and also your weight, how to do exercise, and how to measure blood sugar, and all these webinars to help to alert you guys so you can able to have a better control your diabetic or your pre-diabetic. So lower your A1C from high 10, whatever number, go down to lower than 6.0. The best, you can get a 5.7. Now, some of the client I have is, Andrew, I cannot be 5.7. You know what? I have quite the many customer actually hit 5.7. So this is definitely true. You can do it. Okay. So I'm just going to speak a couple minutes in Chinese to make sure the Chinese audience from Hong Kong understand what I'm doing. 各位朋友，我只係講一次咧，就如果你係糖尿病病者咧，你一定要咧，只係能夠控制你個糖。如果你個血糖控制唔到咧，你就好多問題嘅。控制點控制？一係食嘢啦 ，exercise 啦，同埋呢個減磅啦。咁其實咧最重要咧就真係唔好食咁多白粉嘅東西，麵包啊嗰啲，唔好飲汽水啊。如果你唔做呢樣嘢咧，你個糖咧一定會慢慢喺度升高嘅。咁最好飲去糖茶啦。咁有4個 stage 去點去糖尿病啊。第一個 stage 係你個膽固醇上咗去啦，咁就 damage 咗啲 B cells 啦 ，B cell 就帶啲糖入個血個細胞裏邊嘅。咁但係 damage 咗佢唔帶啦，咁你越整越多即係insulin 出嚟啦。咁但係仲有一個問題喎，咁佢咧就係嗰個 sugar 同埋啲膽固醇咧 mix 埋咧就好結啦，咁啊塞晒全身體。所以咧，如果係糖尿病者最弊咧就係依樣嘢啦，所有全身咧係塞晒嘅全身身體嘅所有血管。咁第3個 stage 出嚟咧，如果你 A1C 咧高過5.7咧至到6.4咧，你係前期患病啦。6.4後就糖尿患病者。咁第4個 stage 咧，你乜嘢都唔做啦，咁你 eventually 都變咗糖尿患病者嘅。咁老鼠點解會好咧？就係因為咧，番石榴葉咧就將啲糖咧唔好入去嗰個血管裏邊啦 ，delay 個 absorption 咧，即係遲咗入去個血管裏邊，咁其他咪掉咗喺個糞便流咗出嚟咯。咁嗰個苦瓜咧有個仲更加好嘅，佢就帶啲糖入佢細胞裏邊。咁同埋咧，仲有咧，如果 excess 多咗糖咧，佢有尿啊，同埋喺個膽固醇睇個尿同埋膽固醇咧，糖膽固醇同埋鹽咧都掉咗出嚟。咁你3高都會跌低嘅，即係糖啦，膽固醇啦，同埋呢個血壓都會降低，3高啊。咁如果你咩唔做咧，弊家伙啦，你有中風嘅問題啦，癌嘅問題啦，同埋你個心臟嘅問題啦，同埋神經損壞啦。血壓高啦，或者斬隻腳啦、腎病啦，同埋咧你仲有咧好多人咧都冇咗即係呢個性功能，因為感覺唔到啊。咁其實我哋公司咧最重要咧就幫助我哋糖友咧個個咧由 A1C 咧希望佢由60去跌翻5.7，我哋又可以教你食嘢啦，點去做 exercise 點控制啦，同埋醫生講座啦，咁然後控制你嘅糖嘅。咁 OK。So thank you for patience for my Chinese audience. They're very happy to actually hear from me both in Chinese and English. So net result, they at least benefit what we'll talk about. So that's why I want to really take this time to basically alert everybody what is added sugar intake, why affect our whole diabetic management. It's very important because you really wonder, first of all, a lot, matter of fact, already some audience will ask me, hey, why I want to avoid added sugar intake? As I said earlier, before people comes in, one of my Hawaiian friends said, hey, for years, I've been taking Alpine cereal. When I look at Alpine cereal, I said, this is really sweet. Do you ever look at the label? And she said, no, I've been taking this for years. That's why the sugar excuse me. After he looked at the label, he was shocked. Each day, just before he started the day, he already ate almost 50 grams of sugar. Imagine that, after all that thing, including, the breakfast, a cereal. So we, as a person, each day we can eat about 150 grams of carbs. That will be our target, no more than 200. So if you shut up all that, so you really, at the end of the day, you have more you add carbs in the breakfast, then your lunch and dinner will be screwed up. So you're going to end up actually adding a carb. So really, at the end of the day, you really need to learn what is the added sugar you can avoid. Now, as you know, all food has sugar. You eat a banana has sugar, your apple has sugar. And on the other hand, when you have a processed food, which is mean the food come from prepackaging, like a sugar apple donut, for example, all these are processed food. So they do add sugar, including sometimes milk, added sugar during the process, so they can able to get your taste better. Now, if you very interesting, you go to the supermarket, go to Safeway, everywhere. You look at the milk, just one, 2 gram milk or whole 2% milk or whole milk. You look at the bottle, some of them are 16 grams per cup of milk. And then some of them are 10, some of them are 8, some of them are 4. I buy 5 grams because I found the lowest gram of milk and I use that. And it's really good because I do drink the milk, but I only take 5 grams carbs. So these are the kind of things that you gotta look. The added sugar is just make the product taste better. Now, certainly as a person like sweet, they love sweet. They were looking for something that is, wow, is great, tastes good because added sugar, right? So when you take a lot of excess sugar, then you're gonna have increased your carb craving. You want more, And worse that, all these added sugar is actually going to increase your blood sugar levels. And then net result, you might end up with high blood pressure, heart disease, your weight gain, plus you're going to make your controlling blood sugar very difficult and more challenging, definitely. 嗱，各位糖友，好多人問你啊，點解你要避免食啲叫做添加糖咧？要 added sugar 添加糖啦。個原因咧就係其實咧，所有食物都有糖嘅，你食個蘋果都有糖嘅。咁但係咧，因為所有嘅即係食物嘅公司咧，都會咧係會加啲糖落啲食物嗰度咧，咁能夠令到糖嘅食物咧就可以咧就俾多啲即係好味嘅嘢，咁你咧就會更加咧係令到你咧食物咧係更加精彩啲、好食啦，因為糖係令到覺得好食啲嘅。咁如果你繼續食好多糖嘅話咧，有個問題出現啦，你就會 increase 咗好多咩啊？碳水化合物啦，你個磅高 up 啦，你血糖又上咗嚟啦，你血壓都上埋嚟啦，你心臟又有一個問題啦，幾樣嘢一齊，咁所以咧你一定要控制呢啲咁嘅增加嘅添加糖，咁先能夠令到你繼續咧係控制到血糖嘅問題。如果唔係咧，有時咧增加嗰啲糖咧，你都唔知道。所以咧食嘢咧，好牛奶咁咧，你揀個牛奶都應該揀啲牛奶係少碳水化合物。其實牛奶個係會有16 gram 至到5 gram 嘅，我依家食緊嗰啲係5 gram 嘅啫，所以咧係會幫助嘅。So today the agenda will be identify all the different added sugar versus what is a natural sugar. And today we will give you all that answer today. And also we will show you the tip how to limit the added sugar intake to help you better management your sugar. And so you can meet all your nutritional health goal. And more important, meet your diabetic management goal, which will affect, if you don't manage your sugar well, you know what can happen? it will increase your A1C, and also it will increase what? Your average daily blood sugar. So all the together, your A1C, after 3 months, you go to the doctor, oh, how come it go up? That is the major reason, okay? So today, I hope this webinar will alert you folks. I know many of my Hawaii friend, my Hong Kong friend, my Philippine friend, all now they will start seeing, wow, this is an important webinar, because that would definitely help you to have a better understanding. Now, first of all, what is natural sugar? Natural sugar meaning food comfort and natural sugar. All these are whole food. Whole food is like, for example, you eat an apple. That is a whole food with skin and all, especially. You get about 20 to 25 grams of carbs. And you eat an apple. Why is good eating apple? First of all, apple is the low glycemic product. Eating apple, you have all the fiber. And what the fiber does to your body is slow down your absorption of sugar. And the fiber will also satisfy your hunger. So net result, your apple not only nourish your body with mineral, vitamin, and all the other stuff, also it doesn't have added sugar. So it's really good for you. You get 8 apples, it's 20 or 25 grams, that is it. Now, if you eat an apple coated with chocolate, now that's a different story. The chocolate or whatever glazed apple, those are all added sugar. So that will add additional calorie, no additional extra nutrition, because these are just sugar. Extra calorie is not very good for you. Why? Because it will help you gain weight. And then if you continue all these glazed apple kind of eating, you're going to have all kind of potential added up health issue for you. For pre-diabetic, a diabetic patient, you got to watch that. That is the major problem, because if not, you will continue to get all these added sugar, getting weight, you will gain weight, and you cannot manage A1C. The doctor will get after you after that. That's not good, right? So keep that in mind. That's why whole food is so good and so important. Continue to eat whole food. Okay, I'm just going to speak Chinese right now. 嗱，各位堂友，今日咧我哋話翻俾你聽，乜嘢叫係呢個叫做添加糖啦，同咩個天然嘅糖嘅食物啦，同埋咧我今日會有好多 tips 咧，教你點能夠食嘢咧，唔使加啲叫添加糖嘅食物，只係能夠食真係個食物裏邊嘅糖。咁而家好啲控制咧，你個糖尿啊，或者你前期患病嘅糖尿病啦，控制你身體能夠達到你個糖嘅控制嘅目的 ，OK？ 咁其實好重要咧，每一個人咧要食嘅嘢咧都要一個有天然嘅整體嘅食物，好似個 whole food 食物啦 ，natural sugar 啦。咁呢個 whole food 食物咧，好似 for example 啦，就好似蘋果，蘋果有20至25 gram 嘅 carb 啦。咁相嚟講咧，食咗蘋果咧，你有 fiber 啦，有即係有纖維啦。咁呢個纖維咧，令到你咧能夠好慢咁將啲糖咧係入去你血管裏邊嘅。同埋如果有纖維咧，亦都幫助你係飽快啲嘅。嗱，呢個咧 apple 咧係好重要嘅。apple 裏邊有好多 mineral 啊、vitamin 啊，乜都有噶啦。咁能夠去俾你身體更加好。嗱，但係咧，如果你係加啲咩glazed apple 咧，即係啲糖嘅面嘅蘋果啦。嗱，你食咗佢嘅時候咧係好食啊，但係呢啲全部 extra 嘅 sugar 嚟嘅。咁呢 extra sugar 點啊？咁就令到你咧會 gain weight 啦，即係磅數增加，卡路里增加啦，你血糖增加啦。咁令到咧，如果日日食咁多咧，弊家伙啦，你就會真係咧變咗咧好大問題啦，好多病出現啦。So as I mentioned, so important, you need to control not to eat food that will be added sugar. Added sugar meaning maybe prepackaged food is had a lot of added sugar, or in the supermarket you go buy like cereal even with a lot of added sugar. So you gotta watch that. Now all these, if you take a lot of added sugar, what's gonna happen is your weight is going to start going up and up and up. So controlling your weight which will affect finally to your calories. Because when you eat all these added sugar, your calories gonna goes up, and then it will have relate to calorie intake. So it also affect your blood sugar also. So two things: if you continue to eat all these added sugar, your weight goes up. You're affected because of added sugar will increase your calorie intake, and also it will make your blood sugar extremely difficult to control because your calorie goes up. You eat the food that is a lot of sugar, added sugar, your blood sugar goes up also. So all that is not good for you. Added sugar in a diet basically will just give you more calorie and more carbs to your body. And that result, you will just increase your blood sugar. And you're going to say, wow, how come my blood sugar keep going up? Because you're adding more sugar to the diet. With increased calorie intake, your body weight goes up too. So body weight goes up, actually it will hurt your A1C. As I mentioned, if you drop 10% of your body weight, your A1C will minus 1 point. You know that? And that definitely is true because I see it myself. I see it many of my patients myself. But if you've not added sugar, you are taking many of the empty calorie, which doesn't give you nutrition except just sugar and calorie and tastes good, sorry, yeah? Okay, so you're better off to take more whole food so you'll feel full faster, you lessen your chance of overeating, you also will not get your blood sugar goes up. So this is so important. So don't let the sugar because it tastes good, you eat more because you will just lose control. You just keep going. And guess what? Your weight will goes up after that. Now, I don't know anybody, excuse me, anybody went to a trip, and it happened to me all the time. I go to a trip because a trip, you tend to be a little loose. You tend to try to enjoy yourself. So people are going to start saying, hey, why don't I treat you ice cream? They give you one big scoop. No, you didn't want one big scoop. You go 2 scoop or 3 scoop. You know, your weight would just go boom, go up, right? Now, all those are added sugar, by the way. But in the market outside, it's not going to give you keto ice cream. They'll give you the regular ice cream. Every scoop of ice cream have what? 30 grams of carbs. All these added sugar come to you, plus the calories goes on. You know what? Your weight will goes up. If you do it every day or at a trip, you say, shit, I go on this trip, I gained 10 pounds. Wow, that is hard because you know what? You have lose by the 10 pounds. That will be really difficult to you. So keep that in mind. That's just an example. It happened to me, by the way. I'm just as guilty, but now I know how to better control myself. Even though if I eat ice cream, I tell my wife, oh, you can eat ice cream, you give 1 scoop. No, she take 1 scoop. I said, give me 1 spoon. I just got a taste. So at net result of that, I now learn how to control my added sugar intake. 嗱，各位糖友，好要記住咧，如果你係即係繼續食好多添加糖咧，其實咧會第一你個磅數控制係好難控制，因為咧當你食咗啲糖嘅時候咧，你增加咗好多卡路里，仲有另外一樣增加咗咩啊？你血糖高上升。咁如果你係增加好多添加糖喺呢個食物裏邊咧，你就越整越多卡路里啦，你有 body 咧，你個身體咧亦都加咗好多 carbs 啦，好多碳水化合物啦，最後咧你血糖係增加咗啦，增加咗卡路里嘅時候咧，你個身體嘅磅數增加啦，仲有咧就好多時咧你啲咁嘅所謂叫做添加糖咧，全部都係空嘅冇用嘅。即係卡路里嚟嘅，只係咧係有糖好食。咁如果你繼續咁做咧，你就弊家伙啦。因為咧，如果你唔係食啲 whole food， 因為 whole food 有 fibre 有食咧，減低啲糖嘅 absorption 去血糖裏邊咧，你又一定會食多好多嘢。如果你淨係增加一啲咁嘅即係好多啲咁嘅added sugar 嘅食物咧，你係食多咗嘅。如果你食 whole food 食物咧 ，usually 係食少，因為你感覺個飽咧係快啲嘅。 咁希望咧大家要控制，其實我自己都有陣時咧唔識控制嘅，食雪糕人哋請食嗰個加3個好啦。咁依家咧我好精啦，去油埠都好啦，食雪糕咧我就叫我太太食咗一嚿啦，你俾一個匙羹我試下啦。咁我就控制咗好少嘅增加咗呢啲叫做添加糖嘅食物落去。So very important. Important is control your added sugar intake. Make sure that eat more whole food so feel full faster. Now, so you might ask, hey, what's so good about, or what is the problem of more body weight? Now, if you do continue adding body weight, you know what the issue is come along is when you add more body weight, your triglyceride will go up. Wow, that's sad. Remember I talked about triglyceride before? If your triglyceride continue goes up, it affects your heart. That is even more important. And how that happens is if your body weight goes up, most likely your cholesterol also goes up and your triglyceride also goes up. So when you limit your sugar intake, hopefully that will definitely, your calories will go down. Your sugar intake go down, your calorie go down. When your calorie go down, your body weight also go down. And the study shows that if you take less than 20% of the calories from added sugar, you actually can lower your triglyceride. So in other words, just take off the added sugar, your triglyceride will go down. Wow, is that pretty good? So very simple, not need to do a lot of stuff. Just eat a lot of whole food, not added sugar, like donuts and stuff like that. Those are all added sugar, okay? So keep that in mind. So remember, high body weight actually increase triglyceride. 嗱，各位朋友記住，如果你食咗好多嘢，咁你個磅數係增加啦。當你增加之後咧，你個三甘油脂咧亦都上升。咁如果你磅數一路上去嘅時候咧，你個膽固醇會上升啦，三油脂又上升啦。咁但係咧，你繼續食好多糖咧，咁就弊家伙啦，你一樣繼續高啦啲嘢。咁呢啲係全部對心臟唔正仔㗎。咁所以如果你唔食呢啲嗰叫做添加糖咧，咁你就可能夠降低你個卡路里啦，亦都降低你個磅數啦。咁如果係咁講嘅話，你亦都係 cut down。你如果 for example 你 cut down 只係20%，你個卡路里由呢個添加糖增出嚟嘅時候咧，你亦都可以有機會咧係降低你嘅三甘油脂嘅。So it will be good because you can lower the blood sugar at the same time you can lower your calories just not to take the added sugar. Isn't that great? Now, what is the risk of high triglyceride, as I mentioned? The worst risk is actually heart disease, because when you keep a lot of added sugar intake and your your triglyceride content goes up, it's actually like this comes from fats, right? So you are going to build a lot of weight, and you gaining weight is actually will get that up to your heart, getting a lot of fat build up, so it become a high risk heart disease issue. So in a way, look back, if you limit your added sugar intake, you lower your triglyceride level, you lower your fat build up, your weight gain is lower, then your heart disease actually decrease. Isn't that great? So really, at the end of the day, just don't add the sugars. You already have resolved quite a bit of your potential health risk issue. So try to do that. Now, 各位知道嘛？三甘油脂咧，如果你係食得多嘅時候咧，係對心臟病十分唔好嘅，你係增加咗個心臟病風險。所以咧，其實最重要咧，當你係降低咗你個添加糖咧，咁你咧就會降低你嘅三甘油脂啦，咁亦都降低你嘅肥啦，即係個 fat build up喺個身體裏邊啦。咁 in a way 咧，你就降低你個心臟病啦。心臟係好緊要㗎，所以尤其是到老嘅時候咧， 你繼續係好高triglyceride LDL 嗰啲全部 bad thing for you， 所以唔好真係唔好即係繼續將呢樣嘢咧繼續升高，咁你就即係俾咗自己一個多呢個心臟嘅風險嘅。So then you really need to get more whole food to get better nutrition for you. Now, all the time we talk about, always low carb, but not really we're talking about also calories. Actually, if you manage your blood sugar, you also have to think about calories. Because if you manage your calories well, you know what? You lower your calories, for example, if I can lower my weight, instead of eating 1,800 calories, I eat 1,500 calories. You know what? And I exercise, my weight is going to go down. If my weight is going to go down, it helps what? My blood sugar is going to go down. You know, lately, I was able to achieve my goal. I used to be 230 pounds and up. And now, after 2.5 years now, my weight now is 190 pounds. And recently, I was able between 185 to 190 pounds. Now, I still have 5 more pounds to go because my goal is 180. But I realized just because I minus this almost 30-something pounds or 40 pounds, my blood sugar also dropped down to somewhere between 90 to 100 all the time. Wow, I was amazed. Matter of fact, I got a little worried. I said, is it real? So every day I measure my blood sugar. And it was real because you know why? My weight went down. Another good benefit is also my knee feel better. I walk felt better. Whole body feel better. I feel lighter. I feel wonderful. I feel energetic. So the weight is so important. So calorie, you have to really focus. So how can you get the calorie? By just eating not sugar, but getting whole food, not added sugar, but adding whole food into your diet, like fish, nut, whole grain, vegetable, fruit, contain more nutrition for your body. That is so important because whole food has more fiber. Keep in mind, you got to add more fiber to your food so you can make your body to absorb your sugar slowly. That is the key. More fiber food, your blood sugar will absorb slowly. So your blood sugar doesn't eat the food and bang, goes up and come back down. You go into a very, very gentle curve and come down. So net result, your blood sugar become more stable. You have delete the empty calorie from added sugar and also the calorie, which doesn't give you any good stuff except give you weight and no nutritional value. So you gotta really delete the added sugar, just eat more whole food. That will give you a better nutritional products for your body to nourish you. So 各位同學，好重要咧，就真係要食物咧，要有好營養俾到你。最好食物就咩啊？就係整體嘅食物啦，好似蘋果啊、水啊、魚啊、nuts 或者啲麥嘅東西啦。咁呢啲咧全部咧，當然要俾到卡路里你，但係呢啲嘢咧係一個好多 fiber 俾你。咁有啲fiber 咧，即係有啲纖維嘅食物啦，多纖維嘅食物啦，豆啊 for example 啦，咁令到咧你個血糖嘅吸收率咧係慢啲嘅。咁你食咗嘢嘅時候咧，你血糖就每日嘣一聲係跌翻嚟。咁呢個唔好，你最好慢慢升上去，好快就跌翻嚟。咁呢個咧就一定係個 whole food 嘅東西，有好多纖維嘅食物咧，先能夠幫助你嘅。咁最好啦，就如果係咁嘅話咧，你又可以食到一啲好嘅食物啦，卡路里又唔會好多啦，因為你冇 added sugar 啊嘛，咁唔會加多卡路里咧，咁你唔會肥胖啦。咁亦都少咗卡路里嘅時候咧，你亦都有唔會增加好多磅數啦，同埋仲有一樣咧，令到你咧身體更加好，因為嗰啲 whole food 嘅東西咧更加多營養俾你嘅。So eating more whole food, you get what? More nutrition to your body. And a health benefit, actually. not added sugar, is really you can improve the oral health because lower sugar intake, which includes added sugar like donut, you have a donut, glazed donut, all those added sugars, plus your sugar from your regular food already. When you do that, you basically adding more sugar to the teeth area because the problem is bacteria from the mouth are mainly came from the oral sugar intake from the food. Okay, the food that you take into the mouth, those sugar is basically help your bacteria grow. More sugar you have, more chances for your bacteria growth. So more sugar intake, including added sugar, like for example, like soda water, sweet beverage, punch, fruit punch. Actually, that is actually helping you to get more tooth decay, cavities, and all serious oral infections. So if you cut down the sugar, you know what? One good thing is you're going to have less oral problem. And also, you got to brush your teeth. You have to floss the teeth. You have to do all the LK, gargle your mouth. Those are so important because you don't want to have all the added sugar. Like for example, in the especially nighttime, you eat some sweet thing or chocolate before go sleep. Make sure you brush your teeth so you get rid of all the sugar. Because if not, all those sugar will go form bacteria. Actually, it's going to help you to have bad potential tooth decay, cavities form. That's why a lot of good kids nowadays don't eat candies. And I think it's really good. Parents don't give them candy. So they will have less chances of cavity and tooth decay. So let's do that. 嗱，如果你唔食咁多糖咧，你嘅口腔健康一定會好嘅，因為就係糖咧，令到你個口腔裏邊咧有好多，即係如果有微生物去細菌去增長咧，一定靠啲糖去增長嘅。咁如果食少咗糖，咁你就少機會有發炎啦，亦都少機會隻牙咧就會有牙嘅嚴重嘅口腔嘅感染啊，或者牙周病啊，所有嘅牙病咧，如果你少糖咧，係幫助好多係咁唔會有咁多問題出現嘅。所以呢個咧少糖係幫助牙嘅健康係10%。記住要食少啲糖，所以細佬哥真係唔好食咁多糖，因為對佢鹹正仔。Okay. Now, if you lower your added sugar intake to your diet, and basically you can actually help you to improve your health and decrease many of the potential complications. Like for example, you're a diabetic. If I lower my added sugar intake, in other words, I take regular whole food, I already have some sugar, I limit my intake is 150 grams per day of carbs. So everything added together, it becomes 150 grams of carbs. So definitely with that, my blood sugar will be definitely very stable because it doesn't spike up. The worst thing you do is take another 400-500 grams of carbs, which you can potentially do that. But if you don't do that, I only limit 150 grams of carbs, the chances of you have diabetic complication is going to be lower. If you have less diabetic complication, your high blood pressure also is better controlled, and your heart disease will be better, have less risk, and your liver disease also be less. Certainly, I didn't write down is kidney disease also. If you have, some of these serious or long-term diabetic, the chances for them to have kidneys is high. Other serious illness will be there, but because you limit your added sugar, you can actually decrease all these potential health complications and disease complications. So isn't that great? Just limit the added sugar. Take all whole food. 嗱，各位朋友，如果減少咗呢個添加糖嘅食物咧，咁咧你其實咧係降低咗好多對身體會好大風險降低佢嘅。For example， 好似糖尿病者啦，如果好多糖尿病，如果我只係降低咗我減少個添加糖嘅食物咧，咁我一定咧係每日食少咗 可能控制到150個 gram 嘅碳水化合物咧，咁我其實咧身體一定會係少啲機會咧係會有呢個糖尿病嘅併發症嘅喎。亦都我如果血壓高嘅，亦都會降低咗個 potential 血壓高啦。我心臟病又少咗啦，同埋咧我肝病又少咗啦，或者腎病啦。因為我有個啱啱有糖友咧，67歲就有個糖尿病，去到一個情況下咧，佢腎得40個功能，如果跌到30個功能咧 ，you know what 佢洗腎，哇好差。咁所以其實咧，只係減低咗嘅添加糖咧，已經 achieve 晒啲咁嘢啦，哇幾正啊！ So how much sugar, you might ask? Just now we talk about, not to eat a lot of added sugar. So how much sugar I should take per day? If that's the case, what is the benchmark? How do I measure this? Now, actually, typically people say, well, we should limit to only 11 teaspoons of sugar. Added sugar add together, 11 teaspoons. Certainly, that will be about 10% of the daily diet. If you have taken 1,800 calories, that will be 10% of added sugar into your daily diet. That's about there. Now, however, some experts also advise, hey, maybe you should do 9 teaspoons for man, which is total of 38 grams, just 9 teaspoons of sugar. Add it all together, a day, breakfast, lunch, dinner, everything add together should be no more than 38 grams of sugar. And a woman should be about 25 grams per day or 6 teaspoons of sugar. Now, a lot of people ask me this question, how do you know how much I eat? Well, the food are all labeled, and next few slides, I will tell you where to look so you have an idea, okay? And then if you actually, that's why I keep saying, hey, really, do not drink too many Coca-Cola or soda drink, because 1 can of 350 ml or 12-ounce soda is equivalent to 9 spoons of sugar. So when you take 9 spoons of sugar, which is equal to 39 grams, basically you wiped out 1 can of soda. You wiped out all your daily requirements. Wow, imagine that. So that's the reason why do not really drink the soda or sweet soda. And if you add on everything you drink and eat, you will be very quickly understand how much sugar per day you're going to eat. So 嗰頭有好多人問啦，喂，咁我哋話唔好食咁多添加糖啊，我點知食幾多先啱啊？嗱，其實好簡單，每日咧其實 expert 講咧就話，唔係喺所有啲書籍咧都講咧，每日咧你唔應該食夠11個匙羹細匙羹嘅糖，即係話如果你一日食1800嘅 calorie 咧，你大概10% 係嘅糖咧。就係應該係 cover 到1800 calorie 啊！咁其實咩叫點去做呢樣嘢咧？咁其實咧現在好多 expert 都話，喂，不如你食9個匙羹嘅糖啦 ，which is equivalent 38克嘅糖啦 ，for 男人啦，女人就25克啦。咁其實咧點加出嚟咧？好簡單，你每日依家食好多嘢都有個單張咧寫明咧咩嘢 calorie 有幾多 gram 糖。咁你加埋去咧，你就知道，哇！我原來食好多已經夠鐘啦，150 gram 就我 daily 嘅 target 嚟嘅喎。咁所以咧，其實咧，如果你飲一罐可能可樂咁嘅 soda 咧，你已經飲咗9個 teaspoon 嘅糖，即係39 gram。所以其實飲一罐可樂已經冇咗個 budget 啦，已經 OK。咁所以俾一個 idea 你咧，其實所以唔好食咁多甜嘢，好似soda water 啊，即係汽水啦，或者飲 juice 啊，因為 juice 都好甜嘅。咁呢啲嘢全部好多糖咧，俾咗你嘅時候咧，咁你就即係食晒你個 quota。咁記住 if you want to manage this, you have to look at how much gram of carb you take per day. How many gram of carb for men and women? Man is 38 grams, woman is 25 grams. Now, also, just to help you folks a little more understanding, a lot of the package, if you buy pre-packaged food, they always tell you what kind of sugar or added sugar to be added in there. Many names to come on is corn syrup, brown sugar syrup, high fructose corn syrup, cane sugar, dextrose. All these are called added sugar. So you always look at the package. What is the total carbs? Like usually the total carb is 18 grams. But in that 18 grams, 9 of them are fiber. And how many grams? And 9 grams is sugar. So with that, you can add that together. If I eat a bowl of cereal, I got 9 grams sugar already. So when you add it all up, you know, very quickly you get 150 grams. If you can able to get an idea every day, you know what? You definitely can able to manage your sugar real well. 嗱，各位朋友，我俾大家了解咧，就係應該添加糖咧。現在嚟講，亦都有好多名稱上咧，你去 supermarket 睇到咧，即係 corn syrup 啊嗰啲啊，中文咧可能咧又叫做玉米糖漿啦，或者高果糖嘅玉米糖漿啦、椰子糖啦、鹽糖啦、蔗糖啦、葡萄糖啦，呢啲名稱咧多數喺晒度啊。咁呢啲就係添加糖嘅，所以其實買嘅時候最好就少咗呢啲東西咧，就更加好。咁如果你去睇呢個包裝嗰度咧，你一定要睇，你話有總共有幾多克嘅碳水化合物啊，有幾多纖維嘅克數啊，有啲糖克數。加咗糖嘅時候咧，你更加知了解，哇原來咧好多糖嘅加落去咧，我每日可以超過幾多啊？150 gram carbs，OK， 咁就更加好啦。所以記住咧，呢個係好重要嘅，幫助你了解點控制糖。So understand the name of sugar and also understand total carb. Now this nutritional label, this matter of fact, I bought this package, I especially want you to understand. You notice you gotta really know where the sugar come from, and all the package will tell you. It will give you total carbs, and this is the 17 carbs, and the sugar there's on this one because it's a keto bread, and there's no sugar. Okay, so it's pretty good. So I want to do something is, hey, I eat this bread, one bun, I got 70 grams of carbs that I'm concerned. I was 70 calories I gotta consume. So first of all, you gotta know what is total calorie you're taking, and at the same time, you also know what is sugar you're taking. As you see, the sugar and the carbs add up together is 17 grams. So you know every day I cannot take 200 grams. So breakfast, if I can get 40 grams out of it, so my lunch is only can go maybe another 50 grams, and my dinner another 60 grams, I reach 150. So you can have pretty soon, it's not hard, you just get to start building awareness so you know how much carb you take, and then how much daily fiber and total sugar you take. Pretty soon, you can know how much sugar intake. And also you pay attention to calorie intake. If I every day, here I take 250 calories here in a breakfast, and now 250 calories at lunch, and now I take 750 calories, plus I have all the stack add up together. If I can limit myself to 1,500 calories, hey, that's pretty good because I exercise and all that. My weight is going to go down. So your calories is important indicator beside the sugar will help you give you all the idea how to better control your body, the diet sugar, okay? So keep that in mind. Now, 各位朋友記住每個包裝咧都有話俾你聽個糖裏面資料嘅，咁應該咧就喺度叫做 carbohydrate 呢度寫啦，有呢個17個 gram 啦。咁所以咧其實啲 nutrition box 嘅 label 係重要嘅。咁記住咧，每一次去食嘢之後，最緊要睇個 total carbs 幾多，dietary 嘅 fiber 纖維有幾多啦，糖有幾多啦，同埋卡個加路里幾多啦。咁你就每日都知道，哇！如果早餐我食咗20 gram 糖啦，咁晏晝餐咧我一定要食少啲喎，或者食多30 gram 到啦。即係你每日咧加埋咁多 gram 咧，你唔夠150 gram 就 OK 嘅。但係多咗咧 ，sorry 啊，唔 唔係 OK 啊，咁你就好難控制。咁同埋咧，如果你每日咧你係用1500個卡路里嘅 intake 嘅食嘅卡路里咧，咁你好正啊，因為點解咧？最後咧你會 end up 咧少啲卡路里嘅時候咧，咁你嘅磅數咧一定會降低嘅。So we so far talk about so important. You have to learn about limit not only added sugar because it affect your weight. So also added sugar will increase your calories. So two things you always try to remember now on your package. You have to learn about calories. You learn about what? Added sugar or the sugar or number of carbohydrate or carbs that you are going to consume in grams. So add together, you don't want to get you want to get 1,500 calories per day. The carbs should be around 150 grams per day. So really at the end of the day, you can control your added sugar to control your blood sugar levels. Then really, how do you do that? The most important is cut down all the prepackaged food. What is prepackaged food? For example, the donut, the muffins, for example, all these, you go to the supermarket, they get a package and all these prepackaged because all those things, donuts, and also muffins, all that, it has added sugar. So that is additional calories. The best thing is do is eat more whole food like fresh vegetable, fruit, nuts, seeds. Fruit is so important. Even the bread, it will be good to eat. Like you can buy keto bread now, I noticed, and the calorie is somewhat low because they make 70 grams as the package I showed. The sugar is also very low. They also use more fiber. So more important, you got to remember, just read the label, how much sugar you take and how much calorie you take. That result, you can always limit the sugar intake. Then your blood sugar will definitely come down and you will look good. In addition to that, after cut down the added sugar through better control your blood sugar level, you now need to drink more Lowsutea because Lowsutea is, you bring 2 liters Lowsutea, you get yourself hydrated. There's no calorie inside. It will help you to lower your blood sugar, lower your cholesterol, and lower your salt. And in turn, that will lower your blood pressure. So 3 high are being lower. Instead of drinking soda water, juice, increase your blood sugar goes up, ruin your body, and the high sugar content like juice and so forth, it also does not satisfy any of the hunger or nutrition because they just give you sugar. So keep that in mind. Do not just drink soda water or juice or punch, which have no nutritional value, but basically just give you sugar. 嗱，各位同友，好重要咧，其實咧，重要咧就要降低你嘅添加糖食物，同埋控制你血糖能夠幫助控制你血糖。咁你問啦，喂，點控制呢樣嘢啊？我點知係咁多啦？點知邊啲係添加糖咧？好簡單，你食少啲，好似 muffins 呢啲咁嘅 prepackage 一個包嘅lady finger 啲咁嘢咧，咁你已經控制到噶啦。咁你食多啲 whole food 咧，就蘋果啊、生果啊、糖唔好食糖啦，食多啲生果啊、nuts 啊、seed 啊，咁嗰啲嘢全部食呢啲咧，就幫助你咧係控制到你嘅血糖。同埋咧，如果你每次去睇咧，你個 package 咧，即係食物嘅 package 咧，裏面有幾多糖啊、幾多卡路里咧，咁你知道咗你就會控制，即係開始了解多啲，又控制到噶啦。即係你唔食佢啊嘛，你見到佢原來咁鬼高啊，唔食呢個啦，咁你食一啲係低糖啲嘅，或者低卡路里啲咁咪好啦。咁樣啦，每日應該飲多啲去糖茶，因為去糖茶係幫助你啲咩啊？降低血糖。你如果飲2公升血糖咧，俾能夠幫助你降低血糖啦，降低膽固醇啦，亦降低你血壓啦、三高啊。咁但係如果你飲汽水咧，冇幫助喎，只係俾你 empty calorie，俾 冇用嘅，即係卡路里，亦都冇 nutritional value， 即係俾啲糖你。咁其實咧，呢啲嘢全部咧幫你咧，令到身體更加好健康，亦都唔俾你抵肚。咁最好咧，其實食啲食物，食個蘋果都好過你食一啲糖嘅東西，因為蘋果咧亦都係俾你睇到咧有好多 fibre 啊嘛，咁啊更加好啦，係咪？食呢個 whole food 好過食個尖加糖嘅東西。So remember, continue to eat a lot of added sugar product rather than eating a lot of limit your added sugar product intake. Limited your added sugar intake and eating more whole food, then you will be much more healthier instead of adding a lot of additional sugar for nothing for you. So in summary, today, we have to have we all the food actually have natural sugar, and you can find out food mainly. Most food has some form of sugar inside, but they can be very little or more, doesn't matter, whatever whole food. The amount of sugar might be different, but food manufacturer, if they want to make your food taste better, they will gotta add a lot more sugar to process the food so it tastes better, then you will drink more, eat more. But on the other hand, might not necessarily give you better nutritional body value, as I mentioned earlier. Just like milk, simple thing, a can of milk or bottle of milk. Some milk, because added so much sugar, is 18 grams, 16 grams, and my milk is only 5 grams. There's 10 grams different. The reason is the sweeter milk, they might be able to sell more because people say, this tastes good. The no sugar milk or little sugar milk doesn't taste as good, so sell less. So people like sweet, so they buy the drink have a lot of sugar. So you need to, in order to prevent all these additional sugar, you need to take away or limit your intake of added sugar. Eat more whole food, which give you natural sugar to control your blood sugar level, like eating an apple, fish, nuts. All these are called whole food. And if you add sugar in your diet, only thing it will do is adding more calories, you get more weight gain. Now, if you higher weight gain, you will increase what? Triglyceride, and increase triglyceride, increase your health with a heart risk, heart attack, heart disease risk. The lower sugar intake actually can prevent your oral health, because sugar will just give you more oral problems such as tooth decay, gum disease, and added sugar will also give you a higher risk in other areas such as diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, liver disease, kidney disease, all that disease comes on. The amount of sugar intake for women is 25 grams. For men is 38 grams per day. Remember that. The amount of sugar intake for men is only 38 grams. Woman is 25 grams. Now, that's why I said you have to add it all up. And then altogether, carbs is 150 grams. So all that has some guidance for you. Sugar is 38 grams. And then carbs is 150 grams. So everything you do is look at the sugar on label. You add it up, so you know, I only able to limit myself 38 grams a day of sugar. And women's only 25 grams. So now you pretty much well able to control the amount of sugar intake and better management your blood sugar. And the sugar information are in every single package, usually in the back is called nutritional label. You all need to look at that. If you cut down sugar, added sugar, and your blood sugar will definitely be better. And certainly important to drink Lowsutea. If you can drink Lowsutea 2 liters per day, and you're not drinking soda or juice, that result you actually can have better detox, lower your blood sugar, lower your cholesterol, and lower your blood pressure because it dumps all the salt out. So isn't that great? So I hope this will alerted you what we're trying to do. Limit your added sugar will help you become much more healthy. 嗱，各位朋友，記住食好所有食物咧都有糖嘅，其實好似食個蘋果都有糖。呢啲糖咧係好過你擺啲叫做添加糖上去。點解咧？因為添加糖咧，因為好多都係因為個 manufacturer 想令到啲嘢好食啲，就整多啲添加糖去。但係最弊咧，呢啲全俾你係一個 empty calorie， 係冇益嘅呢個卡路里，亦都唔幫助你去幫助你唔到咧，係幫助你去將你身體更加好啲嘅。咁所以變咗嚟講咧，添加糖咧其實咧對身體真係不好啦，好壞。因為點解加咗卡路里啦，對身體唔係咁好啦，仲有肥胖啦，百樣好多嘢不同嘅嘢都會出現。所以其實好重要咧，就要食多啲天然嘅食物啦，全體嘅食物啦，好似蘋果魚呢啲東西咧，全部咧係會幫助你控制血素，同埋仲有咧唔好食咁多添加糖咧，可以能夠降低你卡路里啦，降低個身體肥胖啦同磅數啦。如果你身體個肥胖上升嘅時候咧，you know what，你會到3甘油酯會上升啦，3甘油酯咧又會 increase 咗你個心臟病嘅風險啦，同埋咧，如果你係降低糖添加糖嘅食物咧，你個牙齒亦都好啦，因為所有糖咧都係令到你牙咧會有 potential 發炎或者牙咧會令到你會容易咧去有牙痛咁嘅。咁同埋咧就如果你唔加咁多糖落去你嘅食物裏邊咧，你最減低咗你個糖尿病嘅風險啦，你血壓嘅風險啦，你心臟嘅風險啦，腎嘅風險啦，個肝嘅風險啦，哇真係好正喎！咁同埋咧，男人就係只係食38 gram 嘅糖，女人咧就每日咧係食25克嘅糖。OK， 咁如果你知道糖嘅 information 咧，每一個 package 每一個袋咧食物出面咧都有個營養嘅 label， 依家香港都有嘅，或者第二都有嘅，全部都。咁你知道每日都有幾多糖可以食到啦。咁同埋咧，你要知道咧，就最好就全部將你個添加糖嘅食物咧大大去控制，咁你血糖一定會好嘅。咁仲有啦，最後咧就係飲多啲去糖茶。每日飲2公升嘅去糖茶咧，或者 instead 飲汽水或者 juice 咧，咁就幫助你一定幫助血糖咧係能夠令到一個好健康嘅血糖水平，又唔會上咗去落翻嚟嗰啲咁嘅情況發生。你要上去血糖咧係要慢慢升，就快啲落，咁就好啦。OK，so 我希望咧呢個講座咧幫助你能夠知道咩叫添加糖。同埋希望咧，你唔好食咁多添加糖，控制你身體嘅。So I hope this lecture will give everybody a real eye-opening because to be honest, I kind of didn't remember about added sugar until I started realizing, man, my blood sugars are going up, and I start eating, taking a look at the label. So then I start realizing, wow, each day I can only eat 38 grams of sugar. And for women, only 25 grams. So I start understanding that. I start controlling it. Then I start seeing my improvement of what? My blood sugar. My blood sugar start going down to 120, about 110, and between 90 to 100. Wow, I was doing real well. Basically, just limited your added sugar. So isn't that really good? I know. At first, it's not so easy because you saw that beautiful glazed donut. You really attempt to eat it. Definitely you will. But I must say, maybe what you can do is just cut a little portion just to taste. And then you basically, if you get used to that, you will not continue to get more of the added sugar. You'll get less and less interest of added sugar, and that will be very good for you. So keep that in mind. I hope that this lecture will help you to now sensitive every time. Always read the label. The label is so important. And a serving size is also very important and can be, so you will know how much calorie you take. For example, a bowl of cereal, they usually give you like 50 grams of cereal, how much that calories will be, or 1 cup, what is the calorie will be and how much sugar will. So important. I think Eugene actually gave some good comment. He said, label is so important. For example, serving size is so important and can be missed. Like your buns is only 1, right? Exactly. Eugene is absolutely right. Eugene is also very good. Actually, he's very patient attention and give us a lot of comments. Sometimes is very helpful. Because your label, that's why now, before I don't really pay attention much on label. 4 or 5 years ago, I don't really pay attention. Until the day that my doctor was saying, hey, your blood sugar is really high. Then I start understanding, gee, I got to start looking at the label of food intake. Then I start paying attention to calorie intake per serving. The serving size is so important. Thank you for Eugene for alerting me on this lecture. Serving size, like 1 bun, or how many grams, or how many ounce of, or how many mils of sugar equivalent to the amount on the label. So that is very important. And so, you really have to really have to limit your diet according to the label, the amount of sugar, the calorie intake. Help you out. Another question it has, keto diet is a good, yes, keto diet is a good regime, but you gotta know what to do and what to eat. And a lot of times keto can be tricky. So you have to make sure that you don't mislead yourself. Another thing almond flour is definitely better than white flour, because white flour, somehow white flour, the calorie goes up the carbs go up real fast. Remember, I showed you guys how to make almond bread. That's 2 grams carb per bun. 2 grams carb per bun. The white bread typically is 16 carb per bun or 14 carb per bun. So 2 to 14. Imagine the amount of carbs intake, the difference, almond and the white bread. That's why white flour, for now, to be honest, right now I cannot take white flour anymore because that is the carbs that I don't want. And it really helped me to jack it up real high. Okay, what I like to drink besides water and tea? I like Lowsutea tea. Well, liquor drink is actually, you can drink water, it's okay too, besides Lowsutea tea, but don't drink anything sweet. You can drink ice water, you can drink iced tea, you can drink light Lowsutea tea, but just not really drinking like juice. You can drink soda water because a lot of soda water has no carbs. It's not sweet. It's just soda water. It's bubbling and give you gas. And so, don't drink soda. So soda is really not good because high carb. You imagine 40 grams of carb and could be 300 calories, just 1 can of Coke, or 350 calories, some of the soda. So soda is not really good for you. It's bad for you. So anyway, you're right. Diet soda. Now, another question, a lot of people said, hey, if I don't drink regular soda, can I drink diet soda like Diet Coke or Diet Pepsi? Yes, you can, because there are no carb. Unfortunately, the studies also show if you drink diet soda, because of the fact that it doesn't have sugar in it, you are going to go craving for more sugar because it kind of sweeten your mouth, but it have no sugar, right? But so if you drink that, your next step is you're going to eat more. You got your more craving of sugar. So the study was showing that you use diet soda, unfortunately, it will actually end up get you more craving for sugar and that is not necessarily good for you. So keep that in mind. So not necessarily good for doing craving sugar. Get yourself to crave for sugar. So Diet Coke, if you eat Diet Coke or drink Diet Coke or drink Pepsi, whatever, all those, yes, for one can is okay, but continue to drink, you'll get more yourself to crave for more sugar. So net result, you end up eating more different type of sugar, although you don't get to gain your soda water with the soda water, no sugar content in there, but you start craving for other sugar like candy, cookie, to compensate that additional craving. So that result, you will eat more. So diet soda actually is not a good thing for you. It's actually just as bad. You're right. You're correct. 各位同友，阿預知咧 always ask 佢好 good 嘅 question 啦。佢就話第一係咪睇個 label 咧，仲要睇埋有一個叫做 serving size， 即係裏面係一個包係有幾多卡路里，有幾多糖咧？咁呢個係啱嘅，你一定要睇呢樣嘢，唔係淨係睇個話幾多，每一個 package 裏面都講100 gram 嘅東西有幾多嘅糖，有幾多卡路里嘅，多數係咁寫嘅。咁你就用呢個方法咧計翻出嚟就啱噶啦。咁仲有咧就係杏仁粉係咪好過麵粉咧？係當然係啦。你睇下杏仁粉做杏仁包係2 gram 嘅carbs， 但係咧白麵包係16 gram carbs， 咁邊樣好啲啊？係2 gram 好啲啦，杏仁粉係好啲嘅。咁同埋仲有咧，如果唔係淨係飲水同埋去糖茶，仲有咩飲啊？咁你可以飲其他。唔係叫汽水啊，即係有 gas 嘅水都得嘅，但係又唔甜嘅，有呢啲嘅。咁你可以飲下呢啲啦，如果你想飲嘅。但係其實最好都係飲去糖茶或者水啦，或者茶啦，其實都 OK 嘅呢個。咁同埋仲有啦，如果你係呢個減肥可樂，即係呢啲Diet Coke啊或者 Diet Pepsi 啊，係咪 OK 咧？嗱，呢個咧飲一罐係 OK 㗎，因為佢冇糖啊嘛。但係繼續飲嘅時候咧 ，study 咧就話俾你聽。飲咗嘢之後咧，你弊家伙啦，你會繼續咧去想食翻多啲糖，所以變咗嚟講咧，食翻多啲糖咧，咁你變咗增加，唔係喺個soda 度增加糖啦，你去食咗糖喺嗰度增加不同嘅卡路里，咁就變咗正嘅啦。OK，so 呢個唔好飲咁多呢啲咁嘅減肥可樂啊，或者呢啲咁嘅即係 Diet Coke 啊嗰啲咁咧，係長飲就唔正仔嘅。So thank you very much again, Eugene. You have been always good to ask a lot of very good questions. I really appreciate you always keep our mind stimulated and continue to give you better answer and clarify some of the questions. I appreciate that. You're really a very good webinar listener. Very appreciate. And next week, by the way, next week I will be flying back to Hong Kong, and it just happened to be Saturday. So next week I will not have webinar. I will be seeing you guys on the following week. I think it's 24th or 25th, whatever. Last week of the June, I will be able to give you another webinar, but not next week because I will be flying back from United States, Chicago, to Hong Kong. So I will see you folks. And I appreciate all the wonderful listener on your busy weekend to listen to our webinar. I appreciate that. And thank you again. I really appreciate you spending time with us on your busy Sunday and or busy Saturday, like Friday, busy Friday. And some of us are free Saturday. So I want to thank you again. Thank you for people from Hong Kong, Philippines, United States, Canada. Wow, all these people. You guys are wonderful to learn so much. And aloha again. Mahalo, Andrew. Bye-bye. Thank you. Thank you.